Most of what you know about ancient human diet is wrong. The stereotype, a hunter eating raw meat over a fire. But a 2025 study in Science revealed that your ancestors from 3.5 million years ago were nearly vegetarian. So how did we end up with this brain? The answer is hidden in the oldest recipe on Earth. Imagine you haven't eaten anything since yesterday. No fridge, no restaurant, no grocery shelves, just what you can find in the wild. For 99% of human history, this was daily reality. But the real question isn't what did ancient humans eat, it's how did food turn an ape-like human into a thinking human? Most people picture a hunter biting into raw steak over a blazing fire, but the truth, a truth archaeologists only uncovered in recent years, is far stranger. Because your earliest human ancestor wasn't just a meat eater, he was a cook. For decades, the hunter-man image dominated our minds, an ancient human chasing a mammoth, eating raw meat, and fueling brain growth on protein. But a study published in Science in 2025 turned this belief upside down. A team from the Max Planck Institute and the University of the Witwatersrand analyzed the tooth enamel of 7 Australopithecus individuals, your ancestors who lived 3.5 million years ago. The result? An almost entirely plant-based diet. The nitrogen ratio in their teeth matched herbivores, not carnivores. But here's the puzzle. If our ancestors were vegetarian, how did we end up with a brain 3 times larger? The answer is hidden in the oldest kitchen on Earth. Before humans discovered fire, food was hard labor. The Australopithecines, your ancestors from 3.5 million years ago, gathered whatever seeds, roots, and wild fruits they could find. They may have occasionally eaten insects and eggs, but there's no archaeological evidence they hunted mammals. The problem, wild roots and legumes are bitter. They contain natural toxins. Digesting them required a massive gut and long hours, time that couldn't be spent thinking. But around 2.6 million years ago, stone tools appeared in the Gona Valley in Ethiopia. Primitive Oldowan tools, stones used to crack bones and extract marrow. This wasn't cooking yet, but it was the first food processing, crushing, breaking, cutting. Cold techniques that made chewing somewhat easier. But it wasn't enough. In Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, 30 meters deep into the darkness, archaeologists found something impossible. Burnt ash 1.8 million years old. Not from a natural wildfire, because natural fires don't reach 30 meters into a cave. This means Homo erectus, or an even earlier species, was carrying fire into the cave, maintaining it, using it. But when did actual cooking begin? In the Gesher Ben Yadakov site in Israel, 780,000 years old, a study published in Nature found charred fish bones, wild barley seeds, and wild grapes, all next to stone hearths. This is the first evidence that humans repeatedly returned to the same spot to cook. And finally, in eastern Britain, a team found a hearth 400,000 years old. Next to it, pieces of iron pyrite, a rare stone in the region used only to strike sparks and start fire. This is the oldest evidence that humans didn't just use fire, they made it. Here comes the biggest surprise. In Shanidar Cave in Iraqi Kurdistan, researchers found burnt food remains 70,000 years old in Neanderthal layers. Not just roasted meat, but a mixture of wild legume seeds, bitter vetch, with wild mustard and pistachio. Wild mustard, a spice, seasoning. Neanderthals didn't eat just to survive. They deliberately added flavor. Even stranger, they didn't fully remove the seed husks, meaning they wanted to keep some of the bitterness. And in Frankti Cave in Greece, 13,000 years old, researchers found remains of finely ground bread or porridge. This isn't random leftovers, this is cuisine. Techniques requiring soaking, grinding, mixing, and cooking with water. Ancient humans didn't just eat what they found, they transformed it. But why does cooking matter so much? Because cooking didn't just change our food, it changed our bodies. Harvard anthropologist Richard Wrangham writes in his book Catching Fire that cooking turns food into external digestion. Cooked starch is digested at 95% efficiency compared to 48% raw. Cooked protein is absorbed roughly 50% more efficiently. And here lies the evolutionary trade-off. Smaller gut equals less energy spent on digestion equals more energy for the brain. But the cost? Humans today can't survive on raw food alone. Studies on raw foodists show chronic energy deficits, weight loss, and menstrual disruptions, even with enormous food intake. we evolved to depend on fire, so much so that we, unlike every other animal, cannot live without it. So next time you light the stove to cook dinner, remember, you're not just making a meal, you're practicing the oldest human technique, older than the wheel, older than writing, older than agriculture. Fire didn't just keep the wolves away, it didn't just light up the night, it cooked the human being, literally. The question I leave you with, if your daily food is an extension of that ancient kitchen, are we honoring this technique today or wasting it on fast food?